Hey there guys, Daleks, and I'm bringing you a game of Search and Destroy on Skidrow. And I'm pretty sure this is the first Skidrow video I've done, so something new. And that was some of the comments I sent in some of my other videos, like I don't like to lose. Well, I don't know. That's just not true anymore. I've been losing so many games recently, but getting good KDs and scores. So I'm just kind of rethinking that whole thing, just because it hasn't been working out in that way. So you see, I start out with the FAMAS red dot, which if you ask me, it's probably my favorite gun. Even though, I don't use it as often as I should. But I have a few games with FAMAS that are really good. One in particular that's really amazing, and then another that's also pretty good. And I'll bring those to you very shortly. Summer's starting to wind down and starting to think about school, even though I don't really want to go back right now. But yeah, I'll try to get a few more videos out before summer. And so I see those guys running over there, and with the accuracy, the FAMAS take them out relatively easy. It's not the best gun for close range, but that's why the G18s. And the combination of the FAMAS with the red dot, which is ultimately precision, and then the G18s, which is just kind of for super close range and kind of medium range spray downs. It's really good, and I like that a lot. Just like the ACR is also good like that, where you get the precision and long range. And then with the G18s, you also get the potential close-up at closer ranges. So see a guy right there, and I'm not really hitting my shot properly. And soon going right though. Oh yeah, and I remember I get tricked here. I come out here because I think he's going to come down here. And, come on out, and I don't see that he was actually in the corner of that dumpster sitting with the heartbeat sensor. So he's able to get a pretty easy kill on me, and there that guy comments on me dying to him, and I don't really want to hear that, so I just mute him. Normally I just mute everyone in the lobby, not that I have anything particularly against them. I just don't need to hear what they're saying, because it's normally crap, and it's pretty annoying. So see right here, and just watching some other people play. You don't really know what they're doing. It's actually kind of like interesting and rare to see someone who actually does kind of know what they're doing. And it's just interesting to watch them in those cases, but most of the time you just get like some guy who's trying to quick scope, or who's camping in the very back of the game. And I didn't check the video at all, so there's probably going to be some like 2 or 3 minute period where I'm dead and everything else is just playing out around me. And I'll have to think of what to say over that. But I'll worry about that later. So this is really a point of like a lot of fighting at the very beginning. And you could rush it early on with like a UMP, marathon lightweight, that kind of stuff, and then pull out like a shotgun, like an AA-12 or something like that. And that's obviously a good strategy, but I don't know. I tend not to rush super aggressively, although I was thinking of doing some videos like that where I just basically rush right at their spawn. And I think it'd be pretty fun to watch. So get that guy, wasn't able to knife me, and whenever a knife misses at super close range, kind of like what happened there. It normally means it has some sort of connection advantage over him, so that's what I think happened right there. I don't know, I might just I think I just had a better connection overall, and that's why I missed a knife, which is too bad for him. That's why I just tell people not to rely on their knives, mostly. Like, if they're at close range, you should probably just shoot them. Knifing is kind of just like a really fast reflex, or when you're out of ammo and there's a guy right there. And it's not too natural for me, because I play on the tactical setup, which is something that I recommend for everyone, and lots of other YouTube people do as well. And it replaces the knifing function and the crouch/lie down to prone function. It switches it around, so knife becomes circle, and crouch and go prone becomes the right analog stick by pressing it in, the R3 button. And talk about how you can do all kinds of neat stuff. You can utilize cover more effectively. You can drop shot. You can like jump drop shot. You can do all kinds of awesome stuff that is not impossible, but just a lot harder to do when you have to hold down circle to drop shot or something like that. And overall, or just to me, it feels like a lot more comfortable. So I work with that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but knifing isn't too natural for me. I'm still able to get some nice knife kills though, and yeah. I can still use my knife if I kind of anticipate where the guy's going to be. But then it's not true reflex, it's kind of like planning for it as well. So you see here, this is kind of also an early area where there can be lots of early contact. And people sometimes rush this area right here, with like shotguns and stuff. And you don't want to get killed right there. See right there, the drop shot at a riot shielder, and that happens to be where his feet are, so I was able to take him out. And move into the building using my G18s, and there's just some guy lying down on the steps, trying to relax and killing the G18s. And I'm using the tar silenced with cold-blooded. I don't know, maybe I think probably sleight of hand and ninja. This has become kind of a go-to class for me. I don't like starting out with it. I like trying other classes, but if things aren't working right, then I can just switch into this, and it's very effective. So it's the tar silencer, the G18 akimbo, claymore, stuns or flashes. I prefer stuns because you throw them faster. It's kind of important CQB to throw the stuns fast. Sleight of hand, cold-blooded, and ninja. And then your secondary would be the G18. Oh yeah, I already said that. And use final stand. Just the best death streak is final stand. And unless you want to have an anti-aircraft class, which would include something like something with mobility, so you'd like a submachine gun or an intervention, or I mean a sniper. And then you like to have the Stinger missile because it's better than the Javelin, because you have 2 shots. And then you want to have cold-blooded, and then the other thing you need to have is painkiller on. And that's the only time that I'd not recommend you to use final stand as your death streak. Copycats, worthless unless it's like the only thing you have. And Martyrdom, I've been killed on Martyrdom like 2 times, and I played this game for like days and days on my other account. So yeah, that's my advice to you. Use final stand, and I told you the kind of secret tar class that I've been using quite a bit, and I like it a lot. And you know, typically when you like start to use something and say this is good, then it turns bad on you. But it really has done that for me. It's kind of been very consistent, and I like that quite a bit. So back to the game a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Looks like it's halftime. We'll be on I don't know, offense now. And yeah, so I have a UAV. And UAV is just kind of like everyone uses it when it comes to search and destroy. And what I see some people use or do is actually really quite smart. They throw on one-man army, and one-man army is has a reputation of like the noob tube class. And, that's what it's primarily used for. I don't condone that at all, but it's also effective if you want to use cold-blooded, or you need to use cold-blooded. So if you're not sure if the enemy has a UAV or not, then you can just throw on one-man army, and then if you hear UAV is up, then you can switch into a different class that has cold-blooded on using one-man army. I think that's really smart. And then what else you can do is, if you throw on cold-blooded, you can have a cold-blooded with one-man army class on, and then you can use it to switch out of cold-blooded once the UAV or Harrier or Predator missile is gone, and put it on stopping power lightweight, which is probably the perk you'd be using, I guess. And I think that's really smart. You could also use one-man army to switch into, hardline if you only need one more kill for something, and that's just kind of like eliminating a kill towards a kill streak. So I think this is there's lots of kind of things that you can do with one-man army, other than what everyone else does, which is obviously the the crappy noob tube thing. And it just has like a lot of potential, I guess, even though the game's the game's over. Modern Warfare 2 is over, and now it's all about Modern Warfare 3. Which I'll talk about in a later video. Actually, I want to say some things about the game, Modern Warfare 3, and what I've seen from the trailers and whatnot. Expectations, all that kind of stuff. So, but I don't really want to do that right now. So here I am trying to call my UAV, and I'm using this hallway approach, but it can be really dangerous. Someone could, if they wanted to, could have ran down that little hallway right there, marathon lightweight, and with an ACR and a red dot, and could have basically gunned us down right there. Because the TAR doesn't really have the accuracy to contend with the ACR. It has a damage advantage by quite a bit, but that just wouldn't be enough to be able to take them down, or take a guy down at long range. And so you see, I'm actually getting quite a few kills with this TAR, and it's a pretty satisfying gun to shoot and kill people with. It's an interesting thing to say, but part of being comfortable with the gun really is how it feels and how it shoots. Like, some guns just don't feel right, and that's often because, they could be bad, but, like, some guns like that would be like the M21. That gun doesn't feel right, no one really likes it at all. The F2000, that's just bad, but it's also bad just, because it doesn't feel right, the accuracy is all messed up. And there's just lots of guns. Like the MP5 to me does not feel right. The recoil, the recoil just like it goes everywhere. It doesn't feel right to me, but there's something I just like about it. So I don't know really what I'm exactly talking about right now, but just about how guns are also about how they feel when you use them, and that's about it. Like, and that has to do with more than just like how they fire when they aim. Like there's other factors to that as well. Like there's mobility bonuses. Like okay, so when you spawn in Modern Warfare 2, it's not in Black Ops, but in Modern Warfare 2, the gun you spawn with, if it's an assault rifle, then there's like a certain mobility for it. If there's like a submachine gun, sniper rifle, they all have certain mobilities. You can tell that obviously the slowest ones are the LMGs, the machine guns, and then the fastest ones are the snipers and the SMGs. And I don't remember, but I think assault rifles are like somewhere in between. And you know, even if you started out as a submachine gun, the fastest guy, and you pick up an LMG, you're still gonna be you know, just as fast as the gun you spawned with. So you know, it's all about also how it feels. Like the RPD in this game is an absolutely great gun, but the problem with it is that well, let me just say a few more things about the gun. It's a great gun because, you know, it's I think it's always a 2-hit kill if you use it with stopping power, and you know, that's just fantastic. That's really good. But the problem with that gun is the mobility. The reload time really isn't an issue because you just need to conserve ammo. You wouldn't want to spray everywhere. Spray and pray with the RPD. Or you could just use a sleight of hand, or you could use one-man army, like I was talking about earlier, to just, you know, switch into another RPD class instead of having to reload the gun. So, you know, there's lots of ways to combat that kind of stuff. You can throw lightweight on it, but the gun just doesn't feel right. It just feels slower, and that's just one of those things about, you know, guns and how they feel. They can be good, but they just can't. They don't feel right. Kind of like in Black Ops. The FAMAS is the best gun probably. But there is just something that feels wrong about it. Like, I feel like I don't have the kind of capability at, you know, extremely long ranges that I would with, you know, another gun, like a Modern Warfare 2 gun, obviously. Those would be the most accurate, but I just don't like the way the FAMAS feels in that game. It feels just way too, you know, kind of like weak and sprayish, I guess. And there's just lots of things about guns, like hip fire accuracy, all that kind of stuff, recoil, how fast you can run with it. All that stuff contributes to, you know, how the gun feels and handles and that kind of stuff, and that's really important. And I've been talking about that for like a few minutes now, and so I'm just gonna lay off that. And I only got like 2 minutes left, but looks like we're going into overtime. This is back to the gameplay. So tied up 3-3. Hoping we can win the game here. I'm pretty confident, but you know, things happen, which is kind of giving away the ending, but whatever. So, I'm lost for words right now. So, I guess I should talk about, I don't know what to talk about right now. I'm kind of watching the gameplay a little bit. Let's talk about sights. Oh yeah, that's another part of the gun thing. So, you know what, I'm not going to lay off, and I'm going to keep pushing the matter. When I was talking about guns, another part is the iron sights. So iron sights also play a big part in whether you want to use them or not. So a gun with good iron sights, the best iron sights ever, is the Scar in this game. It's just a circle with a line in it, and that's the best sight you can get. And then there's the sights start to get more and more messed up until you finally have to put a red dot on it. And those are the guns, and you know, it's just really convenient to use the Scar, you know, because you don't have to worry about a sight at all. In fact, like the red dot actually seems like it increases recoil. I don't know if it actually does or not, but it feels like it does. So that's just, you know, something about guns again is oh crap, the game's over. But also sights was also important in that because it kind of affects what other attachments you use. Sometimes you might be forced to, you know, lose an attachment because you have to put on a red dot sight. So I guess that's all I'm going to talk about for now. Final score was 14 kills, 4 deaths. I had an opportunity to clutch it at the end, but I just didn't play it right, which is too bad. So here I am committing another loss. So thanks for watching, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for watching.